everyone, I'm Beth Eland. Today's class, we're going to be focused on heart opening postures, so opening in all areas of the heart. To begin, let's place both hands on the heart center. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and notice your heartbeat. Just connect with yourself before we begin. Notice how you're feeling. Maybe come up with an intention for today's practice. My intention today is love. One more breath. We're going to come to a tabletop pose. So come onto your hands and knees. Bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. We're going to do 3 rounds of cat-cow. So broaden the shoulders on the inhale, gaze forward. And as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest and curl your tailbone down. Inhale, chest shoots forward between the palms, and exhale, pull the navel up in towards the spine. One more big inhale, cow pose. Exhale, push the floor away from you. And come to neutral. We're going to do a thread the needle. So bring your right arm up and thread it underneath your left arm, bringing that right shoulder blade down to the mat and your right cheek down to the mat. The left hand can be wherever is most comfortable for you. Try to keep your hips over your knees and just feel this deep stretch in the back of your right shoulder blade. And breathe nice and deeply here. Really pushing that right arm into the mat to find that stretch. On an exhale, push your left hand into the mat to lift your right arm all the way back up and come back for 3 more rounds of cat-cow. Tucking the toes under during your cow pose and uncurling your toes to take your cat position. Inhale, shine your heart forward, and exhale, curl it under. One more. And come to neutral and inhale. Now your left arm reaches up and underneath for your thread the needle posture. Keeping your left arm parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. So you should be looking straight at your hand. And you should feel this right in the back of your shoulder blade there. Engage in the abs so you don't sink into your low back. And deep breath in. And on the exhale, push your right hand into the mat and lift your left arm back up overhead. And come back down to your neutral tabletop pose. Reach your right leg out behind you and exhale, plant that foot between your palms. Press into your feet to come up into your low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then take an exhale and bring your arms into a cactus shape, reaching your chest forward. Tiny little back bend here. Open your chest. Come back to neutral. Bring your right arm underneath your left elbow. for your eagle arms. So you can either wrap once or twice, like you see me doing here twice. Lift your elbows up. Keep your shoulder blades rolled down your back. So your shoulder blades should still be behind your heart, but maybe just a little bit spread out to the sides. Breathe deeply into that back body. Unwind. Come back into your cactus arms. Big inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your right hand to your hip and reach your left arm over to the right side. So side body stretch. I'm going to turn so you can see it here. My hand is on my hip and I'm leaning over towards the right. So a big side body stretch, a little play with balance. To get into the side ribs, side of the lungs, inhale, reach back up, neutral. Exhale, fold straight forward. Straighten that front leg and point your toes straight up, flexing that front foot. Deep hamstring stretch. These are your half splits. Big inhale and exhale. Plant your palms and bring your foot knee back to meet the other. Bring your left leg up and exhale, plant that foot between your palms for your low lunge on the second side. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, take a cactus shape and really take your back bend, shining your heart to the sky. Come up to neutral and eagle arms on the other side. Bring your left arm under and finding once or twice, lift your elbows slightly upward. Feeling a deep stretch in between the shoulder blades here. And if this is uncomfortable, you can actually just hug yourself, like put your hands on each shoulder blade and feel that stretch in that way. It might be a little bit easier if this is too complicated for you. Just lifting the elbows slightly, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, unwind, recactus the arms, back bend. Inhale, reach your arms up and bring your left hand down to your hip and your right arm over, leaning out to the left. Feeling a deep, nice stretch in the side body, right side body. Inhale, come back up. And now exhale, half splits, flex that left foot. Fold forward, trying to keep your head in line with your spine here. You can always use blocks on either side of your foot in this type of position. Rebend that front knee and push into your hands so you can come back into your table pose. Curl the toes under, you're coming into a plank pose. So hold your plank nice and strong, hips in line with the shoulders. And you can always come to your knees if you need to, just lift up your feet like you see me doing here. Otherwise, you're in your strong plank. You feel your hip points and your shoulders all moving away from each other in all four directions. And as you feel ready, shift your weight onto your right hand, tip over to the right, in for your side plank. So bring your left arm up and overhead. And if you're in your modified plank, you can have your knee down like I'm showing here. Otherwise, strong core. Feel the obliques fire up. Feel the legs strong. Exhale, come back to your neutral plank. Maybe come down to your knees for a moment. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I will turn around for you so I'm still facing you. Pop up into your plank, curling your toes under. And strong plank, keeping your abs tight and engaged. One more deep breath in. And then shift your weight into the left hand and bring the right arm up overhead, tipping over to the right side. Strong side plank here. And try your best to push into your fingertips and knuckles here rather than dumping all of your weight into your wrists. Exhale, come back down, and you can bring your knees down. And bring your hips back to your knees for a nice child's pose here. A few breaths. Take a break. Listen to your breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Feeling your breath fill your belly up. You can push your hands into the mat to come up. Shift your weight over to one side. Bring your feet out in front of you. Shift your seat into the center of the mat. We're going to take our boat pose. So bring your hands parallel to the mat. You can grab onto your thighs if you feel like you need to, and shift your torso back about 45 degrees. You can stay there with your feet down, or you can bring your feet up parallel like you see me doing here. Breathing deeply into your belly. You can hold on to this. And bring your feet down. You can roll down onto your back, one vertebra at a time. Hug your knees in towards your chest for a moment, maybe rocking side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch and let your knees drift apart from each other. Nice soft opening for the hips here. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Notice your breathing and your heart rate. And if that position is too difficult for your low back, you can bring your feet as wide as the mat and dip your knees into touch. Otherwise, we'll hang out here in our reclined goddess, Supta Baddha Konasana, for a few breaths. We're going to shift into Shavasana, our final resting pose. If you want to remain in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can. Otherwise, just reach your legs out. Let your feet hang side to side. And just relax fully and deeply. Palms face up. Release all tension in the body. Maybe do a quick stick scan from head to toe, releasing the jaw. Release any tension left over in the shoulders, the side waist, and the hips. the thighs, your knees, and your ankles, bottoms of your feet and your toes. And when you feel ready, you can roll over to one side, maybe take a big cat stretch, and slowly push yourself back up to take a seat. Take a moment here to notice how your body feels compared to how it felt when we checked in at the beginning of class. Bring your hands together to touch at your heart center. And I'll close by chanting Om one time. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a blessed day. Namaste.